Hello there and welcome to a DF Direct special. We are at GT sequence here. So that's the original past-facing version that you're seeing there, and then kind of like the DLSS 5 take on it. Oliver, what do you think of this? Because this is like quite extraordinary. We honestly, when we saw this for the first time, we didn't know actually what DLSS 5 was.
Yeah,
it looks like it like gives her makeup.
You have Grace there in this scene. This is kind of a very famous scene from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And obviously the path traced render has a great lighting detail, but then they swap over to DLSS 5. The first thing that I think sticks out to anyone here is the fidelity and realism in Grace's face. And it's almost like we've integrated a grab bag of graphical techniques here in one fell swoop. Grace's skin has a much more convincing specular response with quickly diffused specular highlights. Her hair is lit more realistically as strands closer to her scalp are occluded more heavily. Her eyes now have perfect specular highlights and they appear much more realistic and lifelike, I would say. And when you're looking at things like the specular response in her jacket, those things are much more true to life as well. I would say the lighting in the background is also considerably enhanced, especially when you look at elements like this lamp.
Show me another game. Show me another game. Hold up.
It looks much more convincingly reflective, like a real lamppost would behave in wet weather conditions.
It looks like it puts a filter over the game too, though.
Changes to Grace's face here will perhaps be most controversial, but throughout the other demos that we saw and the other shots that we saw in these games, I wasn't seeing nearly as much of a difference in terms of that DLSS 5 view of the character relative to a ray traced or path traced view of the same character.
Yeah, I think the important thing to point out, though, is that it's not actually replacing assets as such. So geometry, I think that's quite remarkable because the geometry looks different on that Grace shot, but it's not. It's the same geometry. It's the same texture assets. It's simply going through a different form of lighting that, from Nvidia's perspective, is kind of like next generation and transformative. And when you first see that shot, it's quite difficult to argue with that. I mean, you know, when you flick between the two, which one would you rather play? It's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? What's quite interesting about this is that Nvidia's stated intention for the technology. They're kind of like looking at this as
that looks crazy though.
Almost kind of like trying to anticipate.
Is it like
the
uncanny?
original, fully realized vision of the game developers here. This demo is actually quite interesting in terms of its technical makeup, in that it's using an RTX 5090 to run the past-face version.
It almost looks like a built-in reshade.
But there's a second 5090 that's actually doing the DLSS 5 pass there. But the intention is, this is a very early demo. They keep calling it like a snapshot of current development for the model. Right. Yeah. So they're expecting changes, they're expecting improvements, but crucially, they're expecting to be able to do this on one GPU. In fact, they are doing it on one GPU in their labs right now. But in terms of getting like full speed performance for the demo, they wanted to actually run it on a second one, but they're looking to continually optimize.
Yeah, and they did say that they do have it.
What about DLSS improvements without the filter? Is that going to be a setting? Because that visually changes the game more so than just making the character stick out more. It looks like you're playing a different, like a modded game. Yeah, they were using 5090s
like
DLSS
you said, on one GPU,
and SLI.
And they basically made it clear that the VRAM requirements at this stage aren't so steep that it couldn't run on a single consumer GeForce GPU, so presumably like a 5090 GPU. Right. They were running in this demo with two 5090s, but that's obviously not the intent. They want to ship it, they intend to ship it on single GPU systems when this launches in fall of 2026.
Yeah, which isn't so far away.
No, it's not so far away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think maybe if we look at some of the other demos here, I think Starfield is a really interesting.
Yeah, how's Starfield?
So we saw this through a variety of games that basically, they really do intend for that base render that's going into this, the base color, the base motion vectors, the base render, to be as high quality as possible. Starfield obviously has some issues with its lighting. It's not ray traced, it tends to look very flat. And I thought DLSS 5 did a fantastic job enhancing details and enhancing that lighting presentation in a way that I didn't really think was possible, because all of a sudden you've got this game that otherwise looks very flat, otherwise has a kind of last generation appearance in some respects. And all of a sudden it kind of looks like a path traced game. But there are still some issues though, like you can note screen space errors in certain games where like you have screen space reflections.
It's just weird because the way DLSS is, it's like, okay, frame gen and the game is you have better frames. And it's not like such a radical change in look on the game. This is like, hey, DLSS 5, you press it and it's like a filter. That's all you notice. You don't notice like, oh, massive FPS increases from 4. Like, what about that? It's like it almost looks like a different product that has been attached to DLSS.
Engine 5 title, Software Lumen now is like radically transformed into something quite different.
I want to
Character
say like
rendering
that.
again gets a gigantic revamp, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You've never seen elves look this realistic. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that looks like a dude who was photoshopped or something. The lighting change is wild though. Oh my god. Back. Where's the switch, dude? Whatever.
gigantic revamp, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
You've never seen elves look this realistic. It's crazy.
That's the bottom line. Yeah. Also, it's really interesting to see the kind of the occlusion that's happening on all of the brickwork, on all of the sort of castle-like structures there. It really is quite extraordinary to see it in motion and to sort of flip between the two there. Windows that look completely flat and opaque now actually seem to look properly correct.
Yeah, some of the environment shots
extraordinary.
look.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the old lighting in the game I thought generally looked quite handsome. Like I'm not opposed to Lumen, and obviously Lumen takes some shortcuts, but here you're really just seeing all that kind of very
It kind of looks just
lighting
like
detail
preference on
brought
the
out to,
lighting,
like, a
not
really
necessarily
granular
better
level,
looking.
where you get really tight shadows all of a sudden underneath awnings, where the light is spilling out over the scene in a much more realistic manner, where you're getting those contact shadows, and it's just a markedly improved presentation.
Like,
Even
I don't know, that's kind of like it changes the shade of the game.
pointed out, like, some of the character models in the game are a little bit on the simpler side, but they still look a lot better when we put DLSS 5 on. I mean, they look a little bit
What?
uncanny, I would say, but definitely the overall portrayal of those characters is much more sophisticated.
How is that just lighting completely changing it? I mean, granted, it does really affect the look of a face. Lighting, it's all about lighting.
Look at Assassin's Creed Shadows here, which is quite remarkable in how it's handling environmental lighting and shadow there. It's it's radically transformed.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game that is a very handsome title, I would say.
Wait.
It was obviously part of our graphics of the year list last year.
Yeah,
But when we look
that
at
looks...
that base render, we see there are some issues with, like, shadow maps, and maybe the detailing in the foliage lighting is not quite as granular as you'd like. You move over to DLSS 5 and all those issues are basically fixed. Like, all of a sudden the game looks like it has ray traced shadows, when in fact, of course, we know that it does not. And like, the fog is integrated much more nicely into the scene. The overall lighting presentation is just dramatically improved to the point where if you were
that looks
squinting,
real.
or even not really squinting, you could mistake this for an image of a real life forest, I'd have to say.
Yeah, they are attempting to bring photorealism to games with this, which I think is quite
like that tree,
interesting.
dude. That tree literally looks real. That's a real tree. That's a real tree right there. That tree right there is real. Even all these tree clusters look real. I know we all meme and the whole everybody hated Assassin's Creed, blah blah blah, female, la 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 la. What about the actual, like, environment of the game? Did they the tree? I mean, this looks crazy. DLSS off on. I mean, how is the environment of the game?
So quite controversial as well, because this is basically today's game engines viewed through the lens of Nvidia's AI model. And I think it's fair to say that there's going to be a lot of discussion about whether this is the right direction.
Yeah.
A lot of discussion about whether this is actually what the the kind of ultimate intent of the developer.
There is such thing as over realistic.
And I also think we were told that the way the technology works is it actually integrates into NVIDIA Streamline.
Right.
So although developers can actually tune DLSS 5 lighting seemingly to be what they want it to be, there's going to be a lot of DLSS 5 mods happening to a lot of games, whether the developers like it or not, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that someone is going to get this in Optiscaler, and it's going to be.
Dude, I don't know why this just reminded me. I don't know why. Tangent. I really hope GTA 6's menus aren't trash. I hope they like rewrote their engine so it's nowhere like RDR2's are GTA 5s where you go in and you have to manually change stuff and then restart the game. It's like old and so rudimentary. They need to like 2026 that thing so you can just change everything, apply, and you're in. It's not like a whole old potato. That just reminded me, like, this looks that crazy. Wait till GTA 6. Oh my god.
Bit of a wild ride.
It's gonna
but
be
yeah, I mean, they even
insane.
discussed, I spoke with one of the engineers on this project, and he mentioned that you could apply it to games as primitive as Minecraft
Right.
and get like a Minecraft RTX style appearance. So this does not just apply to AAA games. It does not just apply to high-end graphics. We're already seeing that a little bit with Starfield, which is a more primitive title,
Yeah.
but it really could apply to just about any game that can supply color and motion vectors, I guess.
Yeah.
And obviously that's going to be a matter of controversy. We've already heard that some developers are on board with the technique that
They should a couple. I mean, it's like it is pretty crazy tech, but it seems like it's super game dependent. The way it transforms the faces is a little, I'm not a huge fan of. An elf looking more like a cosplayer compared to just the regular model with the dev's lighting is better than playing with DLSS 5 on, where the elf looks like he's literally a guy cosplaying. I don't know. I think it's super game dependent. Some games will be amazing, others meh. Check another video? Link me. I need more examples. It seems like a very game dependent feature. Oh, I should have went piercing. What the fuck? Dude, that's weird. Oh, this is their official advertisement. Is this out today? It'd be kind of weird going back and playing the game to see how it plays with 5 on. But it probably, 4090 is probably gonna get shit on, right? They were running it with SLI 5090s. You know what? It kind of does have that AI face look the more I see it. Yeah, like it is actually, it does look like that. Oh my god, it totally is. Nah, No, I see it now. This video did it. Yeah, it looks like that generic AI template faces. Oh my god. I don't know about that, dude. Yeah, that video, I just saw it. It's the way like the lighting is with their faces. They look like the stock AI images. That's so weird. Huh. Yeah, check comments.
Is this a joke? Shut the fuck off. We died in 2020 and are in hell.
They putting AI faces on character models, and we went from fake frames to fake textures. Still a few days before April Fools. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that did nothing, to be honest. That did nothing. That's definitely kind of like, who asked? AI is gonna kill games and much more. You know what? If anything, it will kill AAA games. Heavily. If those companies lean into AI heavily. Because then you look at these smaller indie games, bro. I think a lot of these devs just make games because they enjoy the traditional methods. Honestly, I think it depends. To me, I feel like the visual element, when AI messes with it, it's a turnoff. Back-end AI stuff isn't a turnoff. It's when it's visually present. Because then it just feels like slop. Back-end AI stuff, it doesn't feel like slop. Even though I see the argument for it, yes, but I don't want to see it in my game. But if you're trying to use AI to optimize your fucking game's networking better than... But then you'd be like, well, then hire some fucking network engineers, you piece of shit, the jobs. I get it, bro. I get it. 3. I just don't want to see the damn AI, okay? Use it in the back end. If you need it to make the networking better so you can have bigger, more flow. If you need it to like optimize your physics code or some shit, whatever. Do mundane tasks. All right. But when you start making it so it's visually present, it's almost like you're giving the same paintbrush to the same artist. The artist being AI. And he can't help but making uncanny shit and has a fucking stroke that everybody can recognize. But if you leave him in the back end, no one's gonna notice. But when he keeps painting the same shit, you're gonna notice, man. If someone sees Picasso's painting, can you then recognize all of Picasso's paintings? If you are somewhat versed in art, it's like the artist always has a similar style. In a way, I feel like when AI needs to present something, it's the same thing. Visually. Today, people are gonna constantly ask me about DLSS 5, even though we saw it yesterday. So every time I look to the right, it's gonna be like,
Did you hear about DLSS 5? Did you hear about DLSS 5?
this DLSS comparison is crazy. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one. Dude, I don't even want to see what it looks like on Kratos. Oh my god. No. That's horrible, dude. That's crazy, man. I feel like that seemed like such a direction of the person who's designing it just like doesn't... It feels like it was designed for a non-gamer. It's a feature that seems like, unless you're like a tourist gamer that doesn't game and just sees that, and it's like, oh my god, that's so cool. Sure. But it seems like something someone would be like, this is amazing, but you're like looking at it as a non-gamer. You know? But someone who plays games like, what is this doing for me? Nvidia ruined gaming IMO? I don't think so. Some people think there was a fork in the road with DLSS, and people think that now optimization is a skill. It is. And some people put it to a point where that's like kind of part of the product you're buying, part of the software, the skill in the optimization. But that's like super nerdy. DLSS has added, optimization has suffered. It does seem like you could argue a lot of devs now rely on DLSS for frames over optimization. Well, I don't know, man. How many of you guys have 1080 still? For example, Crimson Desert coming out. How many of you, what are you guys going to be playing it on? What do you mean hashtag ad? That's not fucking hashtag ad. It's literally the reality of what we're living in right now. What are you talking about? There's no hashtag ad. You literally turn on DLSS or you just play it native or use Fidelity's anti-aliasing. What are you talking about? What do you choose what is your AA option? What the fuck are you talking about? Streamer Pepega thinking DLSS 5 is good? Dumbass. No one said it is good. Bro, is English your second language? What the fuck are you talking about? DLSS 5 looks fucking weird. You didn't understand what I said. This guy's literally spamming while not understanding what he heard. I said to someone who is a tourist gamer who looked at that 1 minute DLSS on and off, you're going to think it's, whoa, this is cool tech because it's AI. It's like it went viral. So the tourist is going to be like, this is so cool. But the gamers, it does nothing for them. It looks weird. It looks uncanny. It isn't like, oh my God, this is going to transform gaming. It's more like, what is this? This doesn't seem right. As in, it's bad. The thing is, the only thing DLSS is good at is if the frames go up, the input lag goes down. That's all I care about. That's the whole point of it. More frames, less input lag. It makes it so more you can run games better. Sure, and image quality, bro. Do I need a... You know exactly what I'm talking about here. But yeah, man, I don't know, bro. They should have labeled it as something else. I don't even know why it is called DLSS 5. The only thing I want to see is in more environment examples. Like, I want to see if I turn it on the Isle. I think that is where it could get interesting, because they mess with the lighting and some of the shots, the photorealistic shots. Some people don't even like the games chasing photorealistic graphics anymore. The thing is, though, it should be DLSS 5, and whatever this filter they added should be 2 different options. Like, just like how Reflex is its own, Nvidia loves having their own bullshit on stuff. It should be like Nvidia filter. It shouldn't be tied into DLS5. The only reason you turn on DLSS is for frames. No other reason. You're not looking to change the look of your game. I'm assuming that is going to be the point. It's not going to be like you turn on 5 and like that's now what the game looks like. It sounds stupid. People are mad because it's AI. If devs mad such graphic, they would be praised. The other thing is, with DLSS, don't NVIDIA engineers go to these devs and implement it in the games and optimize it in the games? Was that like Resident Evil approving? Doesn't that mean Resident Evil, Capcom, was like, oh, yeah, this is great. Sure, dude. Capcom loves it. Devs will need to enable DLSS 5 for their game. Yes, exactly. Sure. So then even Starfield devs. We're like, yo, this is awesome, man. All the NPCs look like they're cosplayers. DLSS 5 will be a generational leap. This is an early version that will be worked on. Yeah. The thing is, what is DLSS 5 helping the devs with? Okay, whatever the visual look. They mentioned, I need to look at a breakdown. I gotta look at the breakdown. It is true. It is the first iteration. This is where a lot of this stuff is headed. So if these devs like Capcom are like, this is cool. It's gonna morph and morph and morph. This is the first look. It does. It changes everything. All games will be gray box till DLSS 5 is switched on. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. This is just a garbage AI filter. Nvidia met with criticism on DLSS 5's graphics alterations. Where was the video again? This one. I think people were pissed at Digital Foundry because Digital Foundry is like the gamer, the fucking game. This is for the PC gamer who like wants to know the innards of the fucking games, how they're optimized, what they're using, what techniques they're using, how the hell the devs have achieved what they've achieved, what is under the hood. So people see this, and then I watched a bit of this, and they seemed like they were like, wow, this is amazing. But you can tell the old school gamer audience that they had is like, this is not the future. This is horrible. No. You guys forgot to add, oh, this is an ad tag. Was it? It could have been a sponsored video from Nvidia from them. Too, it could have been. I don't know if it was. I don't know. You'll never convince an old school gamer to head to enjoy this or think it's interesting. Like it's not No one was like, holy shit, watching this. It was more like, what the fuck? I don't think it was like, holy shit. It was like, what the fuck? Wait, hold
Actually,
on.
disruptive,
Speak for yourself. Okay, buddy.
transformative, next generation technologies.
Oh, wait, no. I don't want to watch this. I want to watch, oh, yeah, the comparison. Some are good. I think it depends. It depends. The environments and how the lighting affects the environments is more interesting. Changing the face is where things are weird. There's too much emphasis on the fucking faces. But like, what about everything else? Like, okay, if it wasn't so uncanny, the faces, right? I think that's the thing is everybody looks like they're fucking AI filtered. Like straight like that's the thing. It takes away from everything else there where okay, let's pretend the faces don't exist. Because it's instantly draws you into the change. But like actual, what about the environment changes with the lighting? I mean, look at the laptop. I'm looking at the laptop. You know, like how does it look how does it look if everybody looks the same as they did, but now the textures, the image quality, and all that, coupled with the lighting with that DLSS 5 does. Does the environment look more photorealistic? There's too much emphasis. Okay, what about like the fabric of his clothes here? Does the soccer ball look crazier? Yeah, dude. The faces is what throws it off, dude. It looks like one of those filters where like in a fast scene someone has an AI filter on and then they turn fast and the filter goes away and then you see their actual face or some shit, you know? That's why it looks like a joke in a way, because it's too big of a transformation. But it's like, goddamn, what about the light pole? The light pole. We need to zoom in. Okay, let's look at the light pole. I mean, the lighting on the light pole, it does look... I mean, the time of day, motherfucker. Who recorded this shit? The time of day is different. This looks like it's at like 6 p.m. So no shit, the sun is further in the west. I don't know, bro. I could see both of these poles existing, walking in New York, and looking the same, depending on the daytime, the time of day, and the weather. Both are accurate. Both look good. I can't tell. It's the same time. You know what? The lighting completely makes it look like not the same time. Man, the weather has changed significantly. It's the same scene. Where was the wasn't there a video that showed the environments? Or maybe it was actually in this one. I want to see her walking in the forest. I think this is where it's like, holy shit. When I look at the trees, that is way more. If they came out with DLSS 5 and it was more environment focused, it would be way more of an interesting comparison because that looks fucking real. Like, if I'm playing the fucking Isle and you're telling me the trees could look like that, but you still feel like you're in a game, I gotta see it in motion.
You know, it's radically transformed.
Yeah, I would.
It still does look like a filter. Like it still looks like reshade as soon as you turn it on. I don't want to. Oh god, there's the guy cosplaying. The NPC shit is fucking terrible. Some people will say like this is the first iteration. This is just the beginning. Eventually, it's all gonna go into this direction. But I mean, I need the frame. I need the frame. On, off. All right. You know what, man? You gotta play it, bro. You gotta play it. I would say both don't look bad. They both look good. DLSS 5 looks worse. Honestly, bro, at this point, we're just having an opinion just to have a fucking opinion. All right? I don't think you can say good or bad. These look like a time of day difference. Like, what are we even talking about here? It's too bright? Motherfucker! Bro's acting like you're... Okay, it's too bright. It is. That's a stupid criticism. That's like toddler level criticism. It's too sharp. Yeah, but like, what? It's too bright. Bro, this could just be the general direction of the game. You're just seeing the DLSS 5 on. You wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. You're lying to yourself. You got to see this in motion to see how big of a, like, walk through the forest in Assassin's Creed. You wouldn't, if this was default Assassin's Creed, you wouldn't even be able to tell. You wouldn't even comment on the lighting. It would look natural. You're just saying that because they're, you can't, you really, this looks like it could be either or. It's not.
Like, you move over to DLSS 5 and all those issues are basically fixed. What is granular? We see there are some issues with like shadow maps and maybe the detailing in the foliage lighting is not quite as granular as you'd like. You move over to DLSS 5 and all those foliage lighting is not quite as granular as you'd like. You move over to DLSS 5 and all those issues are basically fixed. Not quite as granular as you'd like. You move over to DLSS 5 and all those issues are basically fixed. Like all of a sudden the game looks like it has ray traced shadows when in fact, of course, we know that it does not. And like the fog is integrated much more. Of course,
I'm looking at the water.
Like the
like
fog.
the thing is, it's such a color change. That is the biggest difference. The color change. It's so dramatic, where it looks like you're turning a filter on, not necessarily the lighting is changing.
It's too bright.
Yeah, I mean, shit, bro. The Oblivion look like the Oblivion shots look like you fucked up reshade. Or like you messed up the settings.
Still work in progress, although we are expecting this to be delivered.
You know what this reminded? This reminded me of when I modded Skyrim. This totally looks like when I modded Skyrim. Holy shit. It has that same look. It totally does. Yeah, like an ultra graphics mod 2022 I just applied. It has that has that same ENB. It's more photorealistic. I bet you could find when I played Skyrim and modded it how it looked like. It will have that same tint. Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, I was giving it benefit of the doubt more so on, okay, no shit, the faces look super different. Agreed. But the environment change, yeah, it doesn't actually look that it doesn't look that crazy. It almost looks like it's just preference. It's super preference.
You know, windows that look completely flat and opaque now actually seem to look properly correct. Yeah, it's just quite extraordinary. It's
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the old lighting in the game I thought generally looked quite handsome. Like I'm not opposed to
right.
Lumen, and obviously Lumen.
Notice how there is no shadow? I don't know, man. Well, shit, bro. Check this video. Oh, Hogwarts Legacy. You know, I will say in Hogwarts Legacy, the grandma looked the least uncanny. She looked the most detailed with DLSS 5, where maybe. Nah, it still has that weird. Nah, never mind. It still has. Never mind. What are the visuals behind? And I mean, everything does get brighter. Alright, what about... Oh, shit. Oh, this video's so... How does it look? I'm looking at this door back here. Yeah! It's... You know what? It's almost like all the fog and just every kind of... Everything just kind of... It's almost like the smog disappears. It's almost like there's fucking pollution. It kind of does. How's the door? How's the door? The green door? How the cauldron? What about the glass? You don't really see. Overall, it just kind of. Yeah, I don't think any PC gamer's life is changing turning this on, unless you super like. This seems the emphasis feels way more on the fucking faces. Yeah. The environments don't seem that radically changed. It just looks like a color filter on the environments, but I don't know, man. What's DLSS 6 gonna be? You think people not liking it, they're gonna now stop this direction? What do you guys think? Do you think Nvidia cares? Do you think Nvidia at this level, with the way DLSS 5 now with this initial reveal, do you think they're gonna keep headed in this direction?
Harry, put that AI filter on this game.
Dumbledore said calmly. Okay. Why are we going towards such realism in games? You know what, man? Unreal Engine. Unreal. I feel like photorealism has always kind of been where they've been pushing for graphics. That's where they're always going for, man. Most environment comparisons. Chris Dejan, are you convinced? Oh, exactly what I was looking for is on this website. Come on, man! This one looks like it just rained. Hmm. Yeah. Removed a person. Starfield one is more jarring. It's the filter on the faces, dude. It's the fucking faces. Okay, now this is too serious. You know, it makes it kind of like a joke in a way, but like also it looks like, oh shit, this is like a serious mission. Like these are actually people. This shit, you know, it's a game. Lol, they're NPCs. Next thing you know, these are like live NPCs and they're playing with you, and the quest givers are actual people. And their faces are like dynamically and connected via VR. But that's just new. What if NPCs could play the game while you play? Introducing. And they have live agents play the NPCs. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know, bro. The future's insane. What the hell is next? They already look fucking real. The next thing is actually make them real. What else do you do? Why do you need voice actors when you can just have a voice acted real or have a voice acted real time? I don't know. What's next? RTX fucking NPC. I don't know. You can now connect your fucking microphone. There's online with Starfield now with RTX microphone where you and your friends can co-op and you take control of an NPC and then you can go into other people's games and the mouth moves when you talk. I don't know. How we feeling, boys? How we feeling? Who's turning this on? We'll see. Starfield RP. I still think now seeing in a weird way the next okay, these video games are trying to be too real in a way. And the game that is the closest to being too real is GTA 6. But the difference is with GTA 6, it's like all engineered, all artists to the closest thing to real life at the highest peak of graphics without this fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Did that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it? It is. Did that make sense? What are these graphics trying to head to? Now they have NPCs that are trying to look essentially uncanny like real life over graphics. Now, what is the peak of a real life settings, non-fictional settings with actual characters now fully at the peak of gaming graphics that we have coming out? Did that make sense? I don't know if I said that correctly. The comparison, there's what other game is gonna look as I don't know. I'm not saying it correctly. Never mind. Who knows what the fuck I'm talking about, chat? Crimson Desert isn't gonna... Wait, Crimson Desert has DLSS 5? No way. It's not even out. Isn't it coming out in like 6 months or something? Yeah, okay, the most we can get graphically in a non-fiction game closest to real life is GTA 6. And that is pure peak of graphical fidelity. We all know how Rockstar cooks. There's no other dev at that. What is the next game? If this is now DLSS 5, this is literally trying to be like fucking real life. Right? So now without this bullshit, how will it look when GTA 6 launches? There's no other comparison game. I guess you could then say Witcher 4, but I said nonfiction. Even though we're looking at fucking Harry Potter. You can say, yes, AI filter, but like, you know what? This looks weird, but if Nvidia doesn't give a shit, guess what? DLSS 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10 are coming out. And who the fuck knows? If these devs already use DLSS to optimize their games better, if this helps them ship games better, faster, I don't know. Maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, who the fuck knows? Eventually you won't even realize. If it saves resources for the devs, I don't know. Who knows where the hell this is gonna go? This is literally the first iteration of us seeing this shit. I still think the future is gonna be cloud gaming. I don't want it to be. But if PC prices are so expensive and shit, they're gonna want everybody to go to cloud gaming. No one's gonna want a gaming PC. 20 years, everybody's gonna be cloud gaming. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows, bro? If they can AI everything, why do you need to spend $700 on RAM when they can just remake the whole fucking game and you can just play that shit on a browser? But yeah, man. I don't know, bro. We'll see. This is either the start of some weird shit, or they're gonna be like, wow, no, our boomer gamers, at the end of the day, the people who actually play games are gonna be like, nah, this is fucking weird. No one's gonna use this. And it will die out. Oh, fuck. But then the worst thing is if AMD comes in, because all of them are shaking each other's hands. They're all invested in each other. AMD comes and is like, lol, the new FSR has basically the same shit. Who knows? When's the AMD event? When is the AMD event? When the CEO comes out. They're going to announce an FSR update? Let's see. Let's see. We're getting closer to AI smell-o-vision. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming through. It's going to happen.